Good morning one and all. Welcome to Python programming. In this session, we will going to discuss collections in Python in that type, that is sets. Okay, so let's start with the sets. What is set? Set is a collection type which is unordered, unindexed. That means in sets elements are not ordered, does not having any index, and that's why we cannot access elements of the sets by using index guys. Okay, so in Python set is iterable, mutable. That means we can change the values in the set. Elements in the sets are non-homogeneous, means we can store non-homogeneous data elements together in the set and has no duplicate elements allowed in the sets. Great guys. So compare the set with the previously learned two types of collection, that is list and tuple. In list, elements are mutable, duplicate elements are allowed, but in sets duplicate elements are not allowed. Also in tuple, duplicate elements are allowed and tuples are immutable. Great guys. So there are in every collection type there is some differences, that is their properties. Okay, so the order of elements in a set is defined, though it may consist of various elements. Undefined. Okay, great. That means in the sets elements are not ordered and does not having some indexes. In set we cannot be sure in which order the items will be appear. The major advantage of using a set over list is that it has highly optimized method for checking whether a specific element is contained in a set or not. Great. So each and every type of collection having some advantages and disadvantages. Okay, we can choose which type of collection is preferable for our project and we can use it. Okay, great. So next, in Python, sets are written with curly brackets. Okay, just revise. For tuple, what is used? Parenthesis. For the list, what is used? Square brackets, that is called as subscript operator. Great guys. So set is initialized using curly brackets and you can write the elements. Elements may be non-homogeneous. Great. But duplicates elements are not allowed in the set. Using set method also we can create sets. Set method, that is actually the constructor of set type. How to initialize the constructor? Set method, you can add any number of data members and that returns S. So S is of object reference of type set. Great. So let's check whether it works on PyCharm IDE or not. So open PyCharm IDE, create your new set file, give the name to set21, enter. Okay, so it creates sets. So we have to create the set and display the set. That is the first task. So how to create the sets? Using curly brackets. So S is equal to, inside curly bracket you can mention any type of elements because we have to store non-homogeneous elements in the sets. Great. Sets are mutable, that means we can change the values. Great. Next, what is set? No duplicate elements are allowed. Okay, we will see one by one properties of set. Great. This is create sets. After that, print the values of set. Okay, so run it. What it gives? Great guys. What it gives? It gives 3 elements, but order is not important. That means sets are unordered, unindexed, because we cannot access any value indexed element from the set. Great. As per the run to run, the output get different. Output is different means sequence of the elements in the set get displayed in any order. Great guys. From previous run and this run, it gets different values order. Yes, great guys. Okay, so in this run it also gives you different order of elements in the set, because sets are unordered, unindexed, duplicates elements are not ordered. What is the meaning of that? Suppose you have to add 1 again, so 1 2 times, so let's check whether it displayed 2 times or not. No, that means duplicates elements are not allowed in your set. Great. I hope you understand this concept. So let's move to the next part. How to access elements from set using for loop. We cannot access items in the set by referring an index. Since sets are unordered, the items has no index. But we can access set elements using for loop, as first initialize the set, then use the for loop for x in set 1 colon, and then print x. It gives you elements values, but elements values are not predicted. That is first displayed Amol, then 21, then 99.99. No, because it is a unordered. So let's check whether it gives the output in this way or not. So open your PyCharm ID. You have to create this set. Then what you have to do? You have to for x in s colon, and what do you want to print? Print x. Great. So let's check whether it displays the values in the set. Great. Values are displayed, but 1 is displayed first, then 21.21, then Amol. So it is not predicted. So next run same program once again. So it gives you some different output. Great guys. Hope you understand that. Suppose if you add some new value 2, okay, and print the sequence. So sequence is 1 2 Amol 21.21. In the next run output may be different. Hope you understand the concept. Or if you change the value as the name of the variable and again run it, so it maybe gives you some different output. Yes, in output elements are same, but their sequence is different. So sets are unordered, unindexed, non-homogeneous collection. Great. I hope you understand this concept. If you have any doubts or problem, let me know and write the query in comment box or chat window. Next, sets gives different output sequences for each run. Check if the element is present in the set using in keyword. Okay, so first initialize the set, and if you want to check whether the 21 is present in the set, use in keyword. It returns true or false guys. So let's check using PyCharm ID. So what we have to check? We have to check whether print in print, what we have to check? Whether 21 in S. Great. So 21 is present in the S. No guys, so it returns false. Check the output whether it gives you correct output or not. Yes, great guys, it gives you false. If 2 in the S, yes, it gives you true output. That is, searching of element in the list in the set is very easy using in keyword. Hope you understand. So let's move to the next point. change the items or elements in the set. Once a set is created, you cannot change its items or elements. Yeah, but we can add new elements into the set. Why we cannot change the items which is previously inserted into set? Because we don't know what is the index of that element, and how can, if we cannot access that element using index, then we cannot change that value of item. But we can add the new elements into the set. Add one element item to the set, use the add method. Add more than one item to the set, use update method. So these are the two methods which is very useful for you. Suppose first create the set, after that you can add any value to the set using add method, which is add one element at a time. Next, print the set and check whether it is value get added or not. So check it using PyCharm ID. After that also we have to say update using update method. What we have to do? We have to update multiple values at a time. But guys, one problem is there. You cannot insert only 33, 44 Suraj, etc. But we have to insert it using any different type of collection, either set, list or tuple. Great. I will explain that concept in further. So check the concept using PyCharm ID. So what is the first concept? So first concept in that is, first we have to add the element, and after update method using update the multiple values in the set. So let's check whether it works or not. Okay, so open the PyCharm ID. Great. So in PyCharm ID, using what we have to do, we have to add the method. Okay, so if you know, after dot operator there are number of methods. M stands for method, number of methods available. Which method we want to choose? Add method. What is the self? Self is the current calling object of that set. What is the current calling object? Reference S. And second element, what is the, you can add the value. Okay, so use this add method. Add. Great. So what we want to add? Suppose Suraj, I want to add the string into the set. Let's check whether it works or not. Guys, you cannot print the set. So first print it using print S. Great. Hope you know, understood the concept. Great guys. So Suraj is added to your set. Curly bracket indicates the set, but sequence is not identified because after each run maybe that sequence get changed. Yes, now sequence get changed after next run. Okay, so it is unordered, unindexed set. Great. So after that, when you want to change, that is list is, set is immutable. We can change the set value, so it is a mutable. Only tuple is a immutable. We cannot change the values of tuple. Great. So after that, if you want to add multiple values, 21, is it possible? Let's check whether it works or not. No guys, it gives you add takes exactly one argument, so you cannot add two arguments at a time. But guys, if I have created a list containing these two elements, Suraj and 21, is it possible to add it into the set? Great, check it. Oh, it gives you type error, unhashable type list. No, using add method we cannot add the values of in the form of list. Great. So what do you understand? You can add any number of only single element at a time using add method. Okay, so any other method? Yes, s dot update. Great. So update method, we can add multiple values. Suppose 33 we want to comma and 44. These two elements I want to update into the set. Is it updated? Let's check whether it runs or not. No guys, in the update method it gives you type error. Int object is not iterable because you have to pass iterable elements. So either you have to pass in the form of list, set, tuples. Great. So if you want make it list and pass it to the update method, so check whether it works or not. Great guys, 33 and 44, these two elements are added to the set. Yes, great. If you want to change set, use the set. Yes, it is also iterable, so it is also correct. So 33 and 44 is added. If it is a tuple, means change it to the parenthesis, so it is a tuple. So is it works? Great. Let's check whether it works or not. Yes guys, 33 and 44 is updated into the set. Great. If you want to change the set, yes, it is a immutable, so mutable type of collection, so you can add elements to the set using add method. Add method adds only one single element at a time, and using update method you can update multiple values, but it is in the form of iterables. That is, either you have to pass it in the form of tuple, list or set. Great guys, hope you understand the concept. Great. So move to the next part. To determine how many items in a set, use the length method. Print length of the set, it gives you length of the particular set. So check it whether it works or not. After that, what do you want to print? Print length of the set, length of the set S. So what is the length of the set S? Great. Run it and check. 7, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 elements are in the set S. But if guys, if the set S contains duplicate elements, so these are counting in the length. Let's check whether it count in the length list or not. So it returns 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 repeated, so it is not countable because set does not allow duplicate elements. Great guys. So hope you understand the length method. Great. Now next point is remove the item from the set. To remove an item from the set, use the remove method or discard method. So first use the remove method. Remove the element, but that must be exist. If that element is not exist in your set, then it gives you syntactical error guys. Great. What is the discard method? If the item is removed, does not exist in the discard method, it does not give any error. So this is the difference between remove and discard method. Great. We will see it using PyCharm IDE. So what is the remove method and discard method? Suppose I want to remove. So remove element and self. Self is a current calling object, that is S dot remove. Okay. So what do you want to pass? Okay. So I want to remove 1 from my list. Okay. And display from the set and display that particular set. Is it works? Just check whether it works or not. Great guys, it works. 1 is removed from your set. Great. Suppose 11. Is it 11 is present in your set? No guys. Then run it. What it gives you? It gives you syntactical error, key error 11, because 11 is not present in your set. Great. Hope you understand. So what is the difference between remove and discard? So use method discard. Okay. So discard. If we want to delete 1, run it. Yes. element is deleted from the list, from the set, great. But if 11 and run it again, so what it gives you? It gives you whole list, whole set is get displayed, great. But it does not gives you any syntactical error. Hope you understand the difference between delete and discard method in the set. Great. Let's move to the next point. We can also use pop method to remove the item, but this method removes the last item in the sets. But how to know which element is the last element in the set? That is not predicted because sets are unordered. So when you use the pop method, you will not know which item gets removed from your set. Great. So this is a set s set.pop. You can catch, pop method returns the popped elements. So catch that x, print that x and set 1 and display the set. So great. So this is another way to remove the items from the set. Let's check set pop method. So next method is what? S.pop. Okay, so let's check S.pop. So what is pop method? Having only self argument. Self means current calling object, that is S. And what it returns? It returns set. Okay, so pop, then you can catch it into any other variable. Great. Print x, so you know which element is popped or deleted from your set. Print s. Great. After popping the element from your set, what is the result? Let's check. So 1 is removed from your set, and now after removing 1, what is the elements remaining? 21.21, 2 and Amol. Great. After second run, what is the output? Yeah, it gives you another output because now Amol is removed from your set because it is now the last element in a set. So it is removed, and then what is the output? Great. So let's check. How to check? Just print s prior and check, run it, so you understand the better. So Amol 2, okay, so popped element is Amol and the remaining elements are like this. So using pop method also we can delete the element, but which element is deleted we cannot predict in the set. Great. I hope you understand this concept very well. So move to the next part. Clear method also empties the set. Okay, so check how clear method works. So s dot clear. Great. So clear method clears the set, and what remaining? Empty set. Just check what is the result. So result is set constructor having nothing, that is empty set. Great guys, hope you understand the clear method. Next, any other way? Yes, using delete keyword we will delete complete set, means its existence is also not there on the RAM. That's why if delete set1 and print set1, it raises an error because after that set1 is not present on your RAM. So let's check delete keyword. So instead of clear, what we have to do? We have to delete s, delete keyword, and print s. So what it gives you? Name error. Name s is not defined. Why? Because we have to delete the set s. So it is not defined after deleting. So great guys. So delete keyword, delete the whole set. It's not present on the RAM. Okay, so clear method only what? It clears the items present in the set, but instance of the set remains as it is on the RAM. Great guys, hope you understand the concept of delete and clear. Next, how to join two sets? We can use union method that returns a new set containing all items from the both sets, but duplicate elements are removed. Set 1 suppose contained ABC, set 2 contains 1, 2, 3, 1. Set 3, set 1 dot union set 2. This gives you third sets, set 3. So set 3 contains union of these two sets, set 1 and set 2, but duplicates elements are removed. Okay, and print set 3. So let's check whether it works properly or not. So this is one set. Great. This is S. Suppose S1 is equal to another set containing 22, 33 element. If you want to join this, okay, so S1, then S2, then S3 is equal to S1 dot union and pass another set, that is S2. So S1 and S2, two sets are union, and third set, that is S3, is created. Display that S3. Okay, great. So let's check whether it works properly or not. Yes guys, so both sets are combined and gives the result. Great. I hope you understand the union method to join two sets and gives you third different set. But if duplicates elements are there, suppose 2 is a duplicate element, so whether it counts 2 times or only once it gives, yes, 2 is given only once. Great guys, so duplicate elements are not allowed. Move to the next method. Using update method also we can insert elements from one set to another. Great, we already seen that part. Okay, so let's check whether it works or not. So using update method also we can join two sets. Okay, so remove that and S1 dot update and pass which S2. So and after that print S1 because result is stored into S1 itself. So what is the result? Great guys, so two sets are combined and whole result is saved into S1. Great, but duplicate element 2 is removed from your set. I hope you understand by using update method how we can join the two sets. Also using union method we can join the two sets, but difference is in that you can store in union method we can store union of two sets into third set. In update method we can store it into one of the set, that is which is calling set. Great, hope you understand. Let's move to the next point. Both union and update will exclude the duplicates items. Great guys, thank you for watching my videos. If you have any problem, let me know and write any query or comment in chat box. Thank you once again and have a nice day.